So, we all play chess. When you pick up chess, you hear a chess principle, do not bring your queen out early. And then you watch all these videos, go for these 3-4 move mates. You get all these mates, you go up a few hundred points, and then people start trapping your queen, and you're like, oh, that's why you don't bring your queen out too early. Today, we're going to be looking at a game that punishes someone who brings their queen out too early. It's just something you don't want to do. It's like wearing a goofy hat. It's like wearing a stupid hat. You just don't want to do it. So we're going to look over a game where someone plays the Scandi, because that is the best opening to review someone bringing their queen out too early. This is a game I got. It's a short, simple game. We're playing against a CM. I think that stands for crappy master. So let's get into it. Should we put the shades on? Should we put the shades? Nah, no. See, not even I'm that douchey. Shades are staying off for this one. Just, that's too much. So knight c3, you gain a tempo on the queen, and that's why you don't want to bring your queen out early. It's just going to get bounced around. You're going to fall back in tempi, in development. Your opponent's going to have a position that's more ready to attack than yours. And that's best case. That's if it doesn't get trapped. So now there's a few main moves for black. The main move, queen a5, what we're going to be looking at today in the game. There's queen d6, which is tricky. There's queen d8, which is, I'm going to say it's just bad because you're down 2 tempo. I have seen Magnus beat super GMs with it, but it's Magnus. Then you get what 1500s play, which is queen e6, queen e5, and then you get what 400s play, which is queen e4. All our moves, we're going to be looking at queen a5. What do you do? Well, the point of the video is to punish people who bring their queen out too early, right? It's like a queen comes out, she's like, I got options. I got this guy, this guy, this guy, I got options. You're like, no, you got no options. You're going to go b4 and force it to move yet again. You're like, you came out to move? You're going to keep moving. So pawn to b4, a gambit. The point is, well, if they don't take it, kind of dumb, because then you get an extended fianchetto, right? That's a large board. It's a large fianchetto. Queen takes b4. What do we get from this gambit? You get a semi-open b file that you claim. The knight backwards guards to b1. It hits the queen. The queen has to move again. Let's count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that how you play chess? It shouldn't be. So, what is this rook doing? Well, it is preventing this bishop on c8 from moving. You see, if the bishop were to move somewhere, it is white's move. But if the bishop were to move somewhere, say, I don't know, like here, it's just bad. Oh, let me turn on the bar. How could I do this to you guys? All right, the bar is on. What do you do here? Well, you win a free pawn on b7. And that is quite a nice pawn because you have quite a nice square to build up. And remember, rooks on the 7th are pretty good. Also, one thing about this queen on a5 is black likes to go c6, queen c7, queen d8. You know, you fall asleep while they do it because it's a Scandinavian player. They're going to get out of theory by playing this gambit because they didn't want their queen on d6, right? They wanted it on a5. You forced it to d6. It's a line they didn't play because they don't know it or they didn't want to know it. Didn't want to play it. So we got knight f6 development. It's going to be a large set of developmental moves now. We got pawn a6, bishop to d3, pawn to e6, and castle. So we're all castled. They're all not. They play bishop to e7, and what do we do? Now is the middle game ideas of this gambit. And it plays so simply, and it scores so well. I hope you guys give it a try. Rook to b3. I have videos. I can link it down below. Remind me after I post this video and probably forget. So rook to b3, there's a short-term goal and a long-term goal. The short-term goal is to play bishop to a3. That's more so when the bishop is on f8 and you're trying to prevent them from castling, right? Because you hit the queen, you hit the battery in general, wherever it is. But the bishop is on e7. So what's the long-term goal? Well, you see how there's no pawns on the 3rd rank and your rook x-rays? Since there's no pawns, it's easy to move minor pieces. Basically, the goal is to clear out the 3rd rank because you know they're going to castle kingside. How do you know that? Well, they haven't moved any pieces on the queen side, and it's going to take them forever. And again, they can't move their bishop because of this rook on the b file. Beast. So you know they're going to castle kingside. You know you want to rotate your pieces over to the kingside. Now, there are 2 attackers on this pawn. So what should you do? Should you defend it? No. Develop actively. Why can they not take that? I want everybody to pause the video and solve why they can't take that. Have you been doing your chess.com puzzles? If you found it, nice job. The point is if knight takes, queen takes, there is this oh so beautiful bishop to b5 check, and you pick up the queen. You're going to be up some material there. So they cannot take it. So they castle. Now we get knight to e4, right? Point of knight e4 is you would like to clear off the 4th rank, and that is what you are doing. You're attacking the queen. You're attacking the knight. They do take the knight. Do you take with the rook or the bishop? What's the goal? To clear the 3rd. There's a fly. Oh, so you should take with the bishop. 3rd rank. It's like 67% cleared now. In 2 moves, you've got 2/3 of it done. Imagine if goals worked like that. Well, they do, I guess, percentage-wise. Pawn to h6. Why'd my opponent do that? Simply because if you waste a move, there is actually this Greek gift idea of bishop takes h7, right? King takes knight e5, and you're just going to get into the position. This cuts off g6. Have you ever seen a Greek gift where the move was knight e5 and not knight g5 check? Quite peculiar. But the queen comes to h5, and then you actually take the knight first and go rook over. I believe if you go rook h3, it looks like mate, but they have some knight f3, and look at that. It's equal. Chess is disgusting. What could I say? But if you don't do that, you are winning. So my opponent did not go rook b8. He played h6. What a G. And we get queen to e2. A mistake. A miss. The only one of the game, I promise. My point was I wanted to give up this pawn. I really wanted him to take this pawn because I thought knight takes, queen takes, bishop to b2. I thought this was just a great position for white. And I mean, you're down a pawn with the bishop pair. It's plus 0.7, but you had more. Why go for less when you could get more? Because you miscalculated or you didn't see it. So you had to take the knight. And I wanted to take the knight, but I also knew that a6 was to luft b5 to get bishop to b7. So I wanted to wait for him to go b5 so that bishop takes knight, queen takes knight e5. Boom, you attack the queen. You clear the 3rd rank in full. So the reason queen e2 was an inaccuracy is he can go f5 and cut off a lot of attacking chances. And then I just didn't think pawn takes was all that great. But again, I'm not the greatest. It was that great apparently. So queen e2, we get b5. So it ended up working anyways because he didn't find f5. We get takes, the knight goes to e5. We're clearing the 3rd rank. Where does the rook go? Well, the rook goes to g3 because it's a g and that's where the king is. More importantly, that's where the king is. If you said bishop takes h6, you're better than me. That is slightly better. But rook to g3, all the same. Move order doesn't matter so much here. Now he goes bishop f6, and what do you play here? Well, is this pawn defending these 2 squares? Nope, because it is pinned. So if you said bishop takes h6, nice job. We get bishop to b7 and find the brilliancy. It's barely a brilliancy, but chess.com deemed it that, and it's a cool win. Closes out the game right away. Comment down below your lines. They're probably winning as well, but I played bishop takes g7. Boom, anticlimactic brilliancy because it's not that crazy. But the point is there's a discovered check that will lead to checkmate, so they're forced to take, I believe. And then queen to g4 is just check and mate, right? Whatever they do, checkmate. They can't add a defender to g7. So we beat a crappy master, a CM. No disrespect. Actually, I'll disrespect the title. I don't really care. I don't care about disrespecting titles that FIDE give because they're mean. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Maybe I was a little rude today, but it's me. What are you going to do? Thank you guys for watching. Give it a try. Let me know how you like it. Have a great one. Peace. Boom.